everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to do a video that I have kind of been thinking about for a long time. So as I watch booktube, as I browse Goodreads, as I do all the bookish scrolling that I'm not supposed to be doing because I'm supposed to be doing other things, I oftentimes stumble upon covers of books that remind me so much of other books. And there are some books in here that have been some of my favorite books and books that have the same cover or very similar cover. So I'm kind of wondering, can we judge a book by its cover? If these books have the same covers as books that I love, will I love the other books too? Now, I'm going to talk about 10 different books that I enjoyed and books that have the same cover. And I would love to do a vlog, and I may do it over on Patreon at some point. I'm not in a huge rush to do it because we'll just see. But I'm curious. Do you think I should pick up these books? Do you think I can judge these books by their cover? They obviously have done it great. The cover has done great by me one time. Can it happen again? I don't know. So let's get into the books. I have a whole list of books that I have seen. It seems like this happens a lot. And now I know there's, especially with debut or self-pubs or something like that, there's only a limited amount of cover art and stock images and things, but some of these are pretty crazy. So let's just get into it. So the first one is a book I loved, Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. So this book is about a couple who seemingly has the perfect life. You know, everything is great. They're beautiful. They're wealthy. They've got all the things, but behind closed doors, what's going on? And this book was stressful and just a perfect domestic psychological thriller. If you like those, then definitely check this one out. Now, the cover that looks the same is The Spare Room, or maybe Spare Room by Dreda Mitchell. Now, I have not read this book, but this book is about a woman who is renting this spare room from this couple. The couple's super welcoming. Everything seems great, but she finds a suicide note in the room, and the couple says, oh, that guy never existed. Like, what? Completely dumb. And so she is like, what is going on here? Am I safe? All of that. So sounds like an intriguing plot. The cover looks very similar. Can I trust it? I don't know. Next is The Lion's Den by Katherine St. John. So I read this and really liked it. This is about a woman who, her ex-best friend kind of invites her on this cruise yacht with her new kind of sugar daddy, and a lot of things are really weird. They have assigned seats on the airplane. They're not allowed to have their phones. Things are really sketchy, and this girl is, again, kind of trying to decide if she's safe or not. It was a really entertaining book. Then we have The Lucky Escape by Laura Jane Williams. So this is completely different premise. This is about a woman who was jilted, I think, at the altar. I don't know if she was actually jilted or if the wedding just kind of fell through, and she decides to go on her honeymoon with this guy friend. I don't know if they know each other before or not, but taking the honeymoon and seeing how that goes. So it sounds like a really cute book. Sounds like something I would like. I like the cover. I like beachy books. I like the idea of just hanging out in a pool noodle and chilling. So maybe it would be great. I don't know. Next we have a triplicate. All of these books used the exact same cover art. So we have let's see, the first one, the one that I've read is Magnolia Wednesdays by Wendy Wax. So this was my first Wendy Wax, and I really like her as an author. She writes kind of women's fiction books. This one is about a woman she's a reporter, and she gets shot in the bum, and she's kind of a laughingstock, and for other reasons, she thinks she's about to get fired, so she decides to quit preemptively, and she goes and lives with her widowed sister, and I can't remember what second career she ends up taking on. Writing something, I can't remember, but it's her kind of starting over with her sister. Her sister also trying to solve the mystery of her husband's death because her husband died on a hunting accident or something. The details are kind of vague. I didn't love this book, but it really introduced me to Wendy Wax, and I was entertained, and it was enough to make me continue to read. So the covers that are the same are On Grace by Susie Orman Schnall, and I think this is just about a woman who is about to turn 40 and life kind of falls apart and she has to pick herself back up and figure out who she wants to be kind of as this like redefining 40 comes up, how she wants to live her life. And then also The Queen of New Beginnings by Erica James. I think this is also kind of a starting over story. I don't remember a whole lot of details about it, but it sounds like another women's fiction. Let me look it up. Queen of New Beginnings. I looked up all these books at the time, and I can't hold them all in this brain, but this is about a woman who she avoids telling the truth about herself. She has a secret past. She meets a guy who also kind of has the same situation. She decides to be a cleaner for the Cuckoo House. I guess, I don't know if it's some sort of I don't know if it's just some sort of hotel or resort or whatever. And then there's a comedian who's kind of like fallen from fame, and he's also trying to keep some secrets. And I think their friendship comes up. They may have a connection from the past. I don't know. So both of those, On Grace and The Queen of New Beginnings, sound interesting to me. And they've got the same cover as what Magnolia Wednesdays, which I really liked. So maybe they're great. Well, I don't know. Next, we have The Girl from the Sea by Shalini Boland. So this is one that I really like. This is about this girl who washes up from the sea and has no idea what happened to her. She has amnesia, has no idea what happened. She finds out she has like a lot of money. She finds out she's got a love for rowing. She like starts finding out things about herself, and that a lot of the relationships in her life are based on the money she has, and she's trying to figure out why the heck was she out to sea and who did what to her. I really like that book. So we also have The Vineyard by Michael Hurley. Now this one is about three women who get together on Martha's Vineyard, and they meet this poacher called the Fisherman, and I'm guessing things turn sinister. I don't really know. I don't know how this is the cover for The Vineyard, but it sounds like an interesting enough plot. And again, kind of sounds kind of sinister, kind of entertaining. So maybe. Next we have Left Neglected by Lisa Genova. So Lisa Genova is one of my favorite authors. She is like a neuroscientist who is also an author. And so she writes about like brain conditions and things. And this is one that I had never heard of, but it's a true condition where this woman was in a car accident and the entire left side of her body doesn't work. She like can't walk and things because she can't control the left side of her body, and she can't see the left side of things. So like she can see it, but she doesn't know she can't see it because her brain like fills it in for her. And I did some like rabbit holing, deep diving about this condition because I had never heard of it. And I'm still not exactly sure like what the world looks like from their perspective. But the book follows this woman trying to figure out her life now with this disease. And I love Lisa Genova books, and I really like this one. So the cover that's the same as The Weight of Small Things. And this is by, Sheri Wood Emmons. And this is about a girl who I think she like fell in love. The guy left for something, and now she's married and wants kids and all that kind of stuff, and the guy comes back, and I think her world might fall apart in some way, but I know this is like big on motherhood and fertility and maybe a first love, second chance. I don't know, sounds intriguing to me, and I really like the whole like nest egg cover, so I don't know what that says about me, but sounds interesting. Next we have One Day by David Nicholls. This one is a book that I didn't actually love, but it's about two people who meet on July 18th or something. I can't remember if that's the exact day, but they meet, and then it follows them for the next like 20 years on that day where they are. I like this premise when it's like a cutesy romance. This one's really heavy. So I know it's a movie or a show or something, and I know a lot of people really like it. It's really well known. But a cover that's very similar is The Sea of Tranquility by Katja Millay, and I think this one is a YA about two kind of lost souls finding each other in high school, and both with secrets, all that kind of stuff. I didn't think like this is one that, because I didn't love One Day and I don't particularly love the cover, I was like, I don't even know if I care what that's about. But then I read the synopsis and maybe I'll like the book. So maybe I'll like that one better than One Day. Don't know. Next, we have What Was Mine by Helen Klein Ross, which is a book that I really loved the writing style. It's got short chapters, fast paced. Really love that. The plot, meh. So this is about a woman who finds this baby in IKEA and steals her. And then 20 years later, the baby, now is an adult and wants to find her birth mother. And everything is just really, really, really convenient. And the plot doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And so like the writing style, the entertainment factor was high, but the plot was not great. So maybe I'll like this book better, which is The Next Time You See Me by Holly Goddard Jones. So this book is about a gal who, I think it's got dual timelines, or at least dual perspectives, about a young girl who doesn't really get along with anybody, doesn't have a lot of friends, and she finds a dead body in the woods. And then we also get the perspective of this like kind of Stepford wife lady who her sister is kind of from the wrong side of the tracks, and her sister goes missing. Nobody cares except her. And so I'm guessing it's how the two paths converge, but I don't really know. So maybe I will like it a little bit better. Next is Lilac Girls by Martha Hall Kelly. This is the first in the Lilac Girls series. I think the other two books are prequels, and I've tried reading the second one and didn't love it. And now these covers may not look the exact same to you, but if you kind of look closer, it's the exact same three women. The colors are changed, but it's the exact same three women. And so Lilac Girls is told from an American girl, a Polish girl, and a German doctor, female, all during World War II, all their different perspectives. It was a little long. She's chunky, but it was really good. And then the other book is called A Train in Winter by Caroline Moorhead. And the subtext on that, let me see what it is an extraordinary story of women, friendship, and resistance in occupied France. So I think this is about a bunch of women who were put on a train, captured by the Gestapo, put on a train to Auschwitz, and the stories of their friendship throughout that and how some survived. It's a nonfiction, something I think sounds really heavy but really fascinating. So these three women on the cover, they draw me in. I'll read it. Then we have two that I actually have read both of these books. And so we'll see if the plots or if my ratings match. So the first one is Saving Noah by Lucinda Berry, which I love. It is an emotional, it's painful. It's about this boy who has just got done serving time for inappropriately touching some of his young swimming students. And it's told from the perspective of his mother as she's trying to kind of help him afterwards. Everybody sees her son as a monster, but she also knows him as her son, and she's kind of reconciling that in her head of like his monstrous acts versus the son and person she knows and his guilt. And there's a lot in this book. It's really heavy, but really, really good. So I also read The House Sitter by Ellery Kane. Now, this book was awful. I gave it 2 stars. The covers do not match in quality. That's for darn sure. This is about an old woman who, she's like 70, I think, but on the audiobook, she sounds like she's like 95 knocking on death's door. But she meets this woman who really overshares about her life, and her and her husband or something come take care or live in this old lady's house, and things go wonky. I don't know why the title is called what it is, because they're not house sitters. There's 2 of them. It's not the house sitters, but they're not even house sitting. And like the plot was awful. It was just not good. So the covers do not match in quality. Then we have The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain, one of my all-time favorite books. The book is a time travel book about this girl in the 1970s, woman in the 1970s who is pregnant and finds out that her baby has a heart condition that they don't know how to treat in the 70s. And so she's given the opportunity to time travel forward to a time when they can take care of it. And so, so good. So good. And so then I saw She Wouldn't Change a Thing by Sarah Adlaka. And this one has a very similar cover and kind of a similar premise about time travel. This is about a therapist who has this person come into her to be her client and says, like, hey, I'm from the future. You need to not do X, Y, or Z, or this will happen or whatever. And she thinks, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Well, then she wakes up in her 17-year-old body and, she's wondering what's going on. And I didn't really like this book. It had, like, I think my expectations were so high because the cover of it was very similar to The Dream Daughter. The premise was somewhat similar in the time travel element. But like the title, She Wouldn't Change a Thing. The entire book is her trying to change things. And so that's kind of interesting. It doesn't really match the whole plot of the book, but overall didn't really love this one. So of the two that I've read, both, I would say the cover is not a good indicator of if I'm going to like the book or not, but some of these sound really good. And some of these also sound like potential redemptions. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Can we judge a book by its cover? I don't know. Like if I see any of these books physically, like in the wild, in my library, in my bookstore, or whatever, I'll probably pick them up because they remind me of books that I've read and have some sort of opinion on. And as I was prepping this video, I remember all the books I read. So all of these have had an impact on me. All of the covers have stuck in my head. So should I pick these other books up? What do you guys think? Like, I wonder how many of these I would like, how many would match, if any would match. Maybe the cover has nothing to do with it, and maybe this is a lesson on not being superficial. I think that could be the case, but you guys let me know. What do you think? Should I try them? Should I not? Are there any that you really liked that I talked about? And what do you guys think about the whole cover situation? I know there's been a lot of discussion, especially on BookTube, about all the illustrated covers, and I'm sure there's 1,000 of those that match, but even without illustrations, there's a lot that really match. So let me know what you think. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.